What's up, Bahana Exotics? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be rehousing the 100 pacer holdbacks and the bothrops. Let's take a look at what we're going to be doing today. So these are the new tubs that I'm going to be rehousing the snakes into. I got lids for these tubs as well, as I personally prefer to have lids on my venomous tubs that are in racks. This does differ greatly to person. Some people think that the lid is a higher chance of getting tagged, and statistically speaking, it is a tad bit higher. But for me, myself, that works for me. Thus, that is what I'm going to be doing. So I think let's kick this off with the bothrops. Kicking it off, we're going to go with the female. Now, man, oh man, what a species this has been so far. And I have been the one complaining about bothrops for, yeah, since forever. But yes, since I've been keeping them, what an interesting species. Now, what I have noticed with them is that you definitely don't want to take your chances with them. So no unnecessarily handling, no unnecessary fiddling. And when it comes to feeding, yeah, be prepared for something completely different. Now, as you guys can see, these tubs are a tad bit small for them. Thus, the rehouse into the new tubs over here. So just got to make sure this female calms down a bit, because she is currently a little pistol, which is pretty much what you can expect from bothrops almost permanently. So I think what I actually need to do is get that lid so I can actually close this tub. As you can see, not necessarily an aggressive snake, just an extremely active species, and an extremely food driven. Anything with heat has the potential of being food, and that is my hook that you're stealing there. Would you mind if I have that back? So let's see if I can coax you off this hook via the old school way. Get the lid on there. Lacquer. So that's the first animal for today. Rehouse. Learning from a mistake by the female. I already got the lid ready this time. That's such an important part of venomous keeping, is constantly learning and adapting your way of doing things. I mean, each individual snake is so unique to its own, and it's so important for you to adapt in accordance with that. As the male has just had his shed, looking good as ever. Now, yeah, well, as I said, each individual is different to his own. This guy is a lot easier to work than the female was, which I'm very happy for. Because, filming with one hand, that freaking stupid ass thing over there broke. Oh, very pregnant female. Anyways, okay. Let me close this up. Like I said, with bothrops, you really don't want to take your chances and, unnecessarily expose yourself to risk. Next up is a snake that demands just as much respect as the bothrops, Dienga acutus, which is the Chinese sharp-nosed viper. Now, this is actually my holdback male, looking absolutely flippin' stunning. Now, these guys are actually traditionally used for wind medicine. So that's medicines related to colds and things like that, because of how absolutely freaking fast these guys can move when they want to. A lot of people also refer to them to the Asian version of bothrops. And yeah, I have to say that is fairly accurate. So a lot of you guys might actually be wondering why I'm actually rehousing them into these tubs, since this is not really bigger. And that what you see there is the primary reason. If they sit there and I try to drag these tubs out, they literally smack up to here. And yeah, having a closed lid, I think, would honestly just make me feel so much more secure. But just look at how absolutely beautiful these holdbacks have gotten. I am tremendously happy with what they look like. Absolute beauts. Would you mind giving me my hook back? Now, a lot of people say they don't hook too well, but in my experience with all the babies I've risen thus far, they really don't hook that bad. We'll see as they go, but absolutely little feisty demon snakes, as you guys can see by that disposition right over there. Now, this is the male. That's the reason for this rehouse, actually, because he is a total freaking maniac. He's also the biggest of the holdbacks and absolutely crazily dispositioned. So for any... Whoa! Like I said, this is the reason why they're all being rehoused into tubs with lids, because this snake is an absolute demon. And yeah, for any of you guys looking, hey, let me just quickly concentrate here. For husbandry advice on these guys, this is pretty much how I keep them, right? A largest water ball, a tropical mix, some hiding space, ample ventilation, and then I try to keep them at like a 70 to 80% humidity with a 28 degrees Celsius hotspot. It's the next day, and I actually couldn't finish this yesterday, which is a couple of seconds ago for you guys, because two of the tubs I couldn't find lids, and not having lids on kind of makes the whole rehouse redundant for me. So I went to work. After work, I quickly went to Westpac and I purchased 2 new tubs. And as soon as I got home, I actually found those lids. But yeah, in any case, the rehouse is done. So let's give them all one last glance, give them a nice misting, and then let these guys settle in. So enjoy the view of these guys in their enclosures. So all that's left is to clean up these tubs over here. Since the venomous snakes are out, I can put the colubrids in there. So the next video is going to be me rehousing all the grow out colubrids into these new grow out tubs. Speaking about, out.